Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
Hello and welcome to the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus Sessions podcast. Today, I'm absolutely buzzing about this. I've had him on before. He's a good mate, but he's very hard to pin down. But when I do pin him down and get him on the bus, it's a bloody pleasure. So let's welcome aboard Jonjo!
How are we?
We go mad. You give me the most energy when you come, mate. I really enjoy your presence.
Yeah, big love.
It's a pleasure. You came a year ago on the podcast, do you think?
It's been over a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, about
because it doesn't
nearly
feel
a
that
year
long.
and a half ago.
What?
Oh, it's
Genuinely.
before I left the UK last time, I left in June, so it must have been early June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was freezing. I remember that, and we didn't have lights and everything because all the cameras were steaming up.
Yeah.
And we just kept trying to sort of wipe them off, go again, get a bit of chat in, stop.
Oh, it must have been before that. It could have been May. It could have been like late May or something.
But now it's really warm today, and we're in winter.
We've got all the
Come on,
heaters on in
mate,
here.
cheer up.
Yeah,
But dude, I'm sure we've got a lot to go through today because when were you basically leaving that week or
Yeah.
within a couple of weeks or so?
Yeah, last time I came, I think this was like the last thing I did. Then I went.
I checked out your van. Would you call it a van or what do you call it?
Yeah, it's a little van.
A little
camper
van.
Yeah.
Camper van.
Yeah.
It was amazingly done up. Have you kept it?
Yeah, we've still got it.
You still got it?
Yeah.
Is that the plan to keep it as well?
No, we're gonna sell it eventually. We're not really using it at the minute.
Really?
So, yeah,
Ah,
it's just too
well,
much to
okay.
drive around. It's too cold to sleep in a van at the minute. So
How much you want? What do you got? Make
Yeah.
sure I've got first dibs, mate.
yeah, I'll drop you a message.
We want a van, but also we've just seen recently like a Winnebago. My mate had a motorhome,
Nice.
and it's just a little bit more space. And
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
when you're travelling about, especially with baby,
Oh, with a baby, yeah, of course.
you do want as much space as you can get
Yeah.
and utilise it.
And have somewhere to clean, I guess.
Was
Just
yours is a high top though, isn't it?
It's a high top, yeah. I can
looks
just stand
awesome.
up in it. It's just like a little wooden cabin. We just want the cabin in it.
So, come on, man. Tell me, what was the first steps? Where were you going from after the podcast a year and a half ago or more? Which is
So-
just blown my mind a little bit.
We went to France at first to go visit my girlfriend's family in Caen, Normandy.
Okay, yeah.
This is like weird because all the COVID was still going off here. They just opened the borders. That's when we leaped out quick. Well, the border was open.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have an inkling or a suspicion that they were going to close it all off then? Had you heard do it as fast as you possibly can?
Yeah, I mean, the summertime tends to be a bit chill for COVID, doesn't it? And then comes the winter and it just booms again. So it was like we need to get out as summer's here. So
Yeah.
Caen, yeah. Went to visit Maud's family. And it was just like I was saying, it was weird because all the COVID was still weird here. Nothing was open, no bars, anything. Go straight to Caen. First day out, and we just go sitting in a bar, just chilling, and everyone, all the
Really?
French people just walking up, kissing, sharing drinks, going, like, wine everywhere, drinks. Like, mental.
Stereotypical French, always kissing.
Yeah, yeah, people were still kissing and everything, and I was just like, obviously, we've not seen this for ages. The bars had been shut for ages. This is before any of the bars had reopened.
Wow.
It
So
was-
they were just living it normally over there?
Yeah, living it normal, and then I think it started to get a bit stricter. Oh no, that was later. Straight after that, we went to Germany.
Wow.
Just went travelling around some skate parks in Germany.
Berlin?
No, we couldn't go to Berlin because of the diesel ban on vans. So we couldn't drive through Berlin.
What a time to pick travelling, mate. You've
Yeah.
lived through a very strange period of time.
Yeah, it changed. We never had a
In your
set
van.
plan. Yeah, we never had any set plan massively. And then we met some random skaters on a little skate tour in Würzburg in Germany. And they was just like, oh, we have a massive house in the mountains in the East Germany. Come visit us. So it was like,
This is amazing.
yeah, whatever. They guys left, and then we just went a couple of days somewhere. Then met them guys at their house. Van broke down, and we ended up stopping there for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to say 3 days.
No.
just kept going.
Yeah, 3
What
months.
was it? Just a long party, and you thought I can't leave yet.
Yeah, it was so nice there, man, and it was the height of summer, like throughout the most of it anyway. So we was just going nice lakes every day. All the locals were showing us around, just taking us nice places, meeting people's families, go to the community garden, help build sandboxes for the kids. Like
Mate,
we just eat all the veg that they were just growing. It's like have a massive dinner with everybody.
how old are you now again?
Just turned 26. No.
So inspiring, genuinely,
Bless
because
man.
people wait for this for the end of their lifetime, and then sometimes don't even end up doing it because they keep
Yeah.
postponing it, holding it off. Have you always been somebody that said, no, if I've got this vision or idea, I'm just gonna do it, pursue it?
I just always found myself always drawn towards skaters and punks and music, and I don't know, everything that like with that, especially Germany. They have a massive anti-fascist community. So
Yeah.
every time I've been to Germany, I've always kind of been somewhere like this. You just automatically get drawn to these houses where people live. It's so
Proper communities,
Yeah, they have
yeah.
the gardens. They've got the kids there. They bring the families up there. They've got dogs, loads of animals.
In Europe, is it more accepted, that sort of community, or do we have it? Is it
Yeah.
quite strong in the UK as well?
It's not that strong in the UK.
Is it not?
No, like at all. I feel.
So the punk scene, skater community vibe elsewhere seems to be a little bit more right.
especially in Germany, because obviously
Okay.
there's still a lot of
I picture it in
Nazis.
yeah.
Yeah, there's still a lot
Really?
of present Nazis, especially where we was living, like very open Nazis,
blow my mind
swastikas
again.
in the cars and everything.
On
They-
their cars?
Yeah, they have meetings like
Dude,
all
you
the
just
time.
give me shivers. I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
All over East Germany they have these, and this is why there's such a big presence of anti-fascist houses.
Wow.
Because this is where all the skaters and punks and musicians and creatives just hang out, and they'll
Creates that sort of polarity because the
yeah.
stronger something is on this darker
Yeah.
side, the stronger the sort of light emanates.
Yeah, like these guys, the Nazi guys, the right wing kind of people, they'll go out and do protests in the streets and promote this sort of stuff. So obviously you need an opposite party to be there and be like, no, this is not acceptable. So they'll go out and just plan their protests to be against that.
Wow. And did you see it unfolding in front of you when you were there?
We saw a lot of it on the news, but we'd never. Literally, it was only just up the road, like 5 minute drive, if that.
Yeah.
In the city centre of the little village. But we saw it on the news and stuff that they'd been doing the protests, but we wouldn't go. And the people we're stopping with probably wouldn't really go. They didn't want to fuel it.
I hate that I sound so naive because, you know.
I was a bit shocked by it, but I understood
Really?
it was already a thing out there because I'd been before to Germany and I've had friends from Germany come here before and put the people on show, and they do tell me about.
I thought it was just an anomaly. I've seen one on
Oh.
YouTube. Have you seen that one where that Nazi guy gets sparkoed
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
I kind of, that's my happy maker. Just to watch that
Yeah.
clip, and I'm like, oh yeah, because he was chanting something at them, and they were just, I'm done with you.
there's-
But not that I love to see people getting knocked out all the time.
If
But
they're a
that's-
Nazi, though, it's
when they're a
acceptable.
Nazi, it's got to be okay. I know.
Talking about that, my friend Max was telling us. I don't know if I should say this, but
We're on a podcast now, mate.
out
Anything
in
goes.
Germany, he was with his friend in a supermarket, walking around, and his security guard and him just kept making eye contact, and he's looking at him. He's like, "Oh, he seems familiar." Come out the supermarket with Max, and Max's friend just turns to Max and is like, "Oh, he's a Nazi. I've seen him before." And he's like, 1 second, and then just runs in the supermarket, smacks him, comes straight back out, and just walk off.
How did he know he's a Nazi?
He'd
Just
seen him before
on-
in the past.
Really?
Obviously at a protest, or he'd seen his
oh.
car, his swastikas in the car. They'll wear T-shirts with open brands. They have a lot of clothing brands out there that are just fueled by Nazis. A lot of propaganda in the
Wow.
clothing brands and stuff out there.
Do you know the history behind the symbol, the Nazi symbol? Because didn't they
Yeah, they turned it.
take that?
Take that from the peace, the love kind of thing, when they turned it to the side 45 degrees, didn't they? Not massively about it, just a little bit.
No, that was, I was just speculating
Yeah.
and extrapolating because I had an idea about it. But wasn't it a famous brand as well, or was it just a peace sign and then
I'm
they?
not too sure. Well, I've been around Asia and stuff, and all over Asia they use it in their old buildings,
Wow.
but obviously not tilted or anything, just standard, and
Right.
that's
okay.
obviously a symbol of peace.
I'll get in trouble if I say the wrong name, but I think it was something like Ted Baker or so, had designed it in the past, and then again,
More than
Hitler
likely,
just
yeah.
thought, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Tilt. We'll
There's
go
all
with
sorts
it.
of shit like that. People call out the skate company independent for that. They use a lot of stuff that represents.
Do you know
the
what? We
Nazi
should
and
just
stuff
do
like
a
that.
we should do a podcast on Mikey's half-hashed ideas of things I've heard in the past. Just had a brief conversation
Yeah.
on, and then try and
That's
explain it back really poorly.
No, that'd be funny.
So, literally, how long does it take to get to France? Because I'm just trying to picture this journey
Yeah,
where you're
okay, yeah,
driving,
yeah.
and then are you just, I'm tired now, I'm going to stop off. Is it a bit like Dumb and Dumber, is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
like
towards?
literally, if we haven't got a location to go to or a plan to do something somewhere in a country, we'll we'll just be like, let's look at a skate park. We'll go on Google Maps and be like, okay, there's
And
a
you can
skate
just
park
find
there,
skate
park there,
parks
skate
like
park
that?
there. Yeah, they're all on Google Maps.
This
and
is
all the
brilliant.
images, and obviously, if you go to a skate park, you know you're going to meet people there that are going to like music. You're going to like skating. So we just hang about with different people every day. Be like, yo, can you sort me some weed today? And be like, yeah, of course, different town, different city. Can we get some weed today? It's like,
Mate, you really are a part of something. And every time I talk to you, you envy in the best kind of way. I look over and I think, oh, do you know what? Because I'm more of a social butterfly. I'm really happy. I got my family and things like that together. But that feeling of feeling so a part of something, and wherever you stop off, it could be in China, it could be in Australia, it could be anywhere.
International language, just a
You know you're going to
skateboarding.
find a commonality with people and a universal language, and I find that mesmerizing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
So you've found skate parks. What are the first people you've met where you've gone, oh, we've found a tribe here?
Probably the people I was met in Germany that
That
invited
was
us. Yeah, because we just saw these guys are just such a cool bunch. Like these guys were filming the videos. It's like Jackass, like the German Jackass.
Sorry to interrupt. Are there knobheads in the scene now as well? Because you must get knobheads in every scene. Are there people that are I mean, you kind of look the part as well as act the part. You live in embodiment of it. But are there people that look over and like, you guys are fakes, or you know?
Not massively, no. You get a lot of people that just come across arrogant, but I think that's more of a, if you've been in a different country, there's probably a cultural barrier. They don't really understand you. But I think most people, if they've come across like that at first, we've tried to speak to them or something, and they will be okay.
Yeah.
You just got to break that ice with them.
So, but it does feel more of a pure scene to be in.
Yeah, I think for sure.
Because you can get. I've tried many a scene as well.
Yeah.
But say the gym scene or the boxing scene or certain people that I've been in, it can be very cliquey.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
But your experience seems to be more of a pure. They're just getting on with their thing. If they don't want to chat, that's theirs to do.
I feel like with skating, it's all kind of connected. You know, for sure, people are kind of going to like the same music. If I'm skating with someone, we'll probably like hip hop, jazz, trap, rock, that kind of thing. Or more than likely, they're going to be into the same type of fashion. I guess if you go to like you're saying, maybe if you go to a boxing club or something, you're going to have all sorts of different people that do fashion there. You're going to have like someone could dress like a chav there, so you have a goth there, maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
But I feel like with that, we can just communicate on the fashion sense as well. We'll be like, oh, yo, nice shoes, innit? Like, you got some cool shoes. Or where'd you get them baggy trousers from? I need some baggy trousers like that.
That's cool. Yeah, I suppose in especially gym or something like that, egos are a little bit more ripe because it's a real sense of self that they're carving out. They're building up this body, image, character. You guys are all one in that universal. I like these baggy clothing. I like this similar sound. We're on an understanding there. You don't have to be in battle. Whereas in a gym formation, it's a bit more. I'm more ripped than you.
Yeah. I've used to go to the gym and stuff like that. And I think
you felt the same way.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's
it's weird.
Like, got to walk around like that, innit?
Genuinely, I don't want to like trounce it, but from people I've met in the creative industries to people I've met in the more physical sports side, egos. I mean, I've met very strong egos in the creative scenes, don't we? We all have.
You have to if you kind of want to go anywhere.
It's particularly more common in that sports industry, I suppose, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
But that I'm just going off of experience here.
Yeah, that's probably definitely. I think
more alluding to gym.
Yeah, more of a big masculine, like, wanting to look like a big
good word
stereo man type thing, more than like an ego as in I do this other thing good. 'Cause they wouldn't really know, would they? If you're in a gym, unless you were to chat to people and it's like, oh, I could play the fucking piano.
Yeah.
So like, you wouldn't know if you was to chat to someone in the gym that did that, did they?
Yeah.
When you're in the gym, they're all kind of just lifting, like.
Yeah.
There's no other connection with anything else that someone could really express herself with. With skateboarding, it's like I say, it could be like, oh, music.
Eclectic, yeah.
Yeah, someone could like make fashion because they could make t-shirts. I make t-shirts. We can vibe off that, and we're on a skateboard. We could be having a game of skate while we talk about what interests we do.
And that's infusing each other with passions then.
Yeah.
And oh, you like that?
Yeah.
What do you like about it? Oh, I might give it a go actually.
Yeah.
And it's exciting one another. And
that's what shapes
up.
me as well. Like I'm the way I am because I've met so many different people in different cities, and I've took cool little things, and I've been like, oh, that's really cool. Like I've had that. Oh, I like that music. Like
Yeah.
I listened to loads of German rap when I was in Germany because all my friends would show me German rap.
Has it completely transformed your sound?
Yeah, like that music I
Travelling?
make now,
Really?
like, is kind of very influenced from the music, the instrumental based stuff anyway. Is coming out in Germany now. Like
How does it differ?
or the trap stuff, I think it's a lot more happier, but bouncier, slower. It's not like the drill type sound. I mix a lot of stuff together, so I tend to do my guitars all grungy, and then I'll put some drums on there.
Are you into the hard drill?
No,
sound?
I'm not into the hard
I'm
drill.
not. I can't get there. I've really tried as well. Do you know when you're forcing yourself going, come on, Mikey, this is a trend.
Bro,
People are into
no,
it. Let's
I've never
listen.
really tried, but I mean, I've seen it there and I've looked at shit all the time, constantly for like 4 or 5 years. And yeah, like I do like the old original. Some people probably won't say it's original if they're from the UK, but like the Chicago style drill, like Chief Keef and stuff like that. Like Love Sosa and stuff like that. But that's a bit different. Like the stuff that's coming out in the UK, and people have started to say this is drill now. It's a different type.
Have you pinpointed? I love that. This is us, man. We literally start over here, go over here somehow. I really enjoy podcasts like this. Yeah. Have you pinpointed what it is about that sound that you can't really get on board with? Because I've tried to sort of dissect it and psychoanalyze it.
I think it's all just built mostly the same. It has to be a certain tempo. It has to be. They love the bass slides and the 808s, so they have to have the slide, and it just makes it too repetitive for me. And then the next thing is, let's just put. It's like 3 layers. You'll have the drums, which will be the same, with the drilly hi hats, the sprinkly hi hats. Then you have the 808 slides, and then you'll just have like either a novelty lead, something just jokingly played on a piano or something, or just a lead, and then everything's the same, and the flow is the same, man. And I don't agree with anything they say. To be fair, that's mainly it. I'm just not down with the whole gang culture and the knife culture and shit like that.
Really into lyricism and sort of what people are talking about on tracks. And somebody came on the other day though, who's a hip hop artist, and he said something where he goes, "You're not supposed to like it though. You know, you're a 27-year-old lad with a family starting in a different dynamic. It's not for you." And I goes, okay, that's made me feel a bit better towards the how I understood it, because I was really trying to fish for moments of, oh, well, that's well done, or that's good lyricism there, or metaphor, whatever it is. I just couldn't seek or find anything within it. I just thought
it's more the storytelling, I guess, of what they're doing. You really have to kind of relate to that, or you have to be a bit younger and want to kind of.
The thing is, to me, and I don't know, I've not had this conversation much, so it will be discovery here, but do you feel it perpetuates that ideology of it keeps it as a constant? You know, I've got to live that gun, knife, lifestyle, fighting on the street, because if I don't, then I won't have stuff to document and write about and keep hold of.
I think you look at artists that say a lot of the drillers are looking up to now, say like, I don't know if they do, but like Stormzy, Dave, people like that. These men aren't writing about a lot of stuff like that now. A lot of people, they've kind of worked past the point now. I feel it's because it's just a progression of what they're in now. These people are writing about this, and they know that people are going to share this on like an Instagram page. Like I'm just bait. People are going to share that on there because he just told you on his song that he just shanked some man up on the street and took his wallet and went.
Yeah.
Of course, it's just news. It's just the media working with them. People will just repost their song. It won't even be reposting the song, really. They'll be just reposting the lyrics. Like, yo, look what he said on his like lyrics and stuff like that. It's weird how it works. Same on Snapchat.
Yeah.
People will just share that sort of genre is like huge with just people sharing it amongst Snapchat, TikTok, and stuff.
Why? When did that happen?
It's just kind of the young kids in it, I guess. I mean, not just the young kids.
So am I just getting old?
Well, no, it's always been about it. Imagine like NWA and all the kids back in the day being like, "Oh my God, this is so vulgar." Like,
because hip hop, thinking about it, it's only 40 years old to this day, or 50, I think it was. Snoop Dogg was on a podcast yesterday, and I think he was talking about it. He said it's only 50 years old.
Yeah,
it's only half my life away from its evolution.
But I think that's just because it's a genre. It's adapted from something else, isn't it?
Yeah,
from jazz, blues,
breakaways.
and then of course a lot of blues rappers, well not rappers, a lot of blues artists would save their life, and one of them would rap it. In fact, I was telling someone about to Mod the other day. There's like a meme, and it's like, I can't remember what date it is. It's years old, but it's like an old printed on like a pot or something, and it says, my mill grinds herbs and spice, your mill grinds mice, rats and mice. And sorry. And it's, man, I just looked at it. This is like something someone had written years and years ago. It's like, this is like the first OG diss, and it's like,
well, yeah, I mean, really, rap, the abbreviation RAP is rhythm and poetry.
Yeah,
that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
So
it
has
been there
built
from.
But I suppose that bebop,
the
is
boom
it?
bop
Yeah,
type of stuff like
that sort of stuff. From the breakdancing.
That came probably with more technology, basically.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to do that if they wasn't being able to sample things.
Yes,
that kind of came with a time frame, but that will adapt to dubstep.
I'm building from is it the Get Down? Did you watch the Get Down?
No.
It was Will Smith's son. Is his name
Willa.
Jaden?
Oh no, with Jaden.
Jaden Smith, but it was a series on Netflix. But it was about in the Bronx area when they were having the blackouts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
This is where the communities were building from, and the music was together,
and parties and stuff.
seeped its way over into the UK,
Yeah.
where we were sort of very garage and house here.
Yeah.
But then we were getting influence from hip hop legends speaking real stuff, and that's where we sort of amalgamated that onto saying real stuff on garage beats. And I love
cool.
hearing how things infuse and just build together and take inspiration.
Like you can't just create something from nothing. It has to have something underground movement. There has to be something there. And
is that what makes your music so interesting? It is. You've got a really cool sound I haven't heard very much of, and you've built up a Jonjo sound. It's very much you, but is that because you're an open mind, so you listen to so much, you build up that's a bit different, that's a bit quirky, could I incorporate it? Is that
like, I think it's just a progression through my life. Like I've played in punk and hardcore bands and grunge bands for years and indie bands. So whenever I go pick a song up now, I say I'm a trap artist or a rapper. I don't really say I'm a rapper, I'm more a singer.
Yeah.
But that just comes out automatically. If I pick a guitar up and I'm like, how do I make a hip hop song? It's like, I'm a hip hop artist. Yeah. How do I do this? And it's like, I'm playing a guitar riff. It's like, this sounds grunge, man. It sounds grunge. It's like, hey, just put that in anyway, and then put the drums on it. It's like, kind of sounds a hip hoppy track now, but it's grungy.
Yes, I love that though. As I'm listening in, I'm going, what is this? But that's what I want from music. I like Fat Freddy's Drop.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing their first album based on a true story, and it was one of them moments where it's a light bulb moment. You go, this is me. I'm going to listen to this whole album.
Yeah.
But as I'm listening, I'm going, what genre is this? I have no idea what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So I type it in, and shit you not, 19 different genres come
19
up.
different...
19.
Jesus.
I was like, right, so it's dub reggae, rap, everything. And that is perfect for me.
Yeah.
I can get lost in that and take so much from it. And I suppose that's when I'm listening to your stuff, I'm going, I love it. I don't know where you're going to go with it. Yeah. And it keeps that unknownness, which is fascinating for me and exciting. Do you think, is this your sound now? Have you found where you're comfortable?
No, not yet. I think this is just me for a short period. Like, I do want to have a band, like, eventually.
Sick.
But I want it when I'm settled down in Canada. I want to have a new metal band.
Yeah, do you know what, man? Please, when you go away, we've still got a podcast because you're so interesting. Where your story goes is just exciting me right now. When I get a band in Canada, when I lived in Europe on the skating scene. Before we go back into music, then I want to jump back into meeting that community in Germany on that skate park, because that's a cool part of this story. Man. So what happened? Your van broke down.
Yeah.
At the skate park.
Where was it, Mort? It was on the way to the skate park. Onto the house. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
We were just losing power, like smoke coming out. We was going up the German mountains.
Do you know what it was? What happened?
Yeah, we took it to the garage and it was an EGR valve. The
Right.
eJava was like blocked, so
Okay.
just losing power, so you had to like blank it off and just delete it. And then after that, it was like a fresh van. I was like,
Really?
yeah, it must have been like that when I got the van. I must have just thought this van's slow as shit. But then as soon as they cut this off, I was like, yo, this van's like a brand new van. It works now. So it's
Just
like,
took one moment.
yeah.
Was it costly though?
No. How much was it? 130 euros.
Wow. That's when you take it to a decent person.
Yeah, but then it broke down again after, and it was a slave cylinder. Like, I can't remember, it was a couple, like a month after, 2 months after?
Yeah, when Harry was there.
Yeah, it was when our friend visited us. We was like in Leipzig, just a bit like below Berlin.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and our friend had flown to come visit us from the UK. And
Amazing.
we'd gone for a swim somewhere as we was driving back down to where our friends in the mountains lived. And got back in the van after a swim, and the clutch was just completely floppy. I was like, oh my god. I was like, what has happened? I was like, someone sabotaged the van. I was like, how has this come out of nowhere? So I had to kind of like fully kick it in and just rag it as hard as I can and rag it in gear and drive it to the place.
You two, you and Maud, seem like the most calm, zen people I've ever met. What happens when you face adversity? Do you lose it a bit? A little bit.
Yeah, I think we
Good.
just lose it every day. Yeah, we lose it at stupid shit like having to take the bin bags out, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone says we come across so calm, but
It's just in the silliest of times you can actually get lost in your shit.
yeah,
That's
but
good.
I think,
I like knowing that you're human though, because I look at
think-
people all the time and compare. I'm like, I
No.
wish I could be that chill.
I think when it's like a serious thing and I'm having to fully concentrate, I can't think about being panicked anyway. If it's having to rag a van around like that and it's like barely driving and I'm going up mountains.
Do you
like
know what?
this.
That's what you just said then is so true, because I've had mad breakdowns in the middle of motorways. I was upside down on the motorway once in my Yaris. But genuine,
Jesus.
when push comes to shove, I'm actually very chill
Yeah.
in them situations.
You're
It's a
not thinking
big,
of.
big moment where
Maud
you
tends
go.
to panic a bit more, but 'cause I think that's more because Maud's sat at the side. She's not doing the focused driving thing. She's just like,
Yeah.
So she'll panic a little bit more because
There's something, and I really touch wood because I don't want this to happen, but there's also, in those crazy times, something very beautiful about it, if that makes sense. I quite
Yeah.
enjoy it because I'm going, right, now I've got to be fully in the moment. I've got to be
Yeah.
here and make the best of this situation. The worst one, I was doing a school job in just Glasgow, but we'd set off, me and Chrissy, and we broke down at about 8 at night,
yeah,
and we're basically half and half. So we're about 2 hours from Glasgow,
oh yeah,
2 hours from home, something in that direction.
Yeah.
And we broke down on the motorway. We ended up getting saved by the RAC at about from 8 at night, must have been midnight. So we're just on the motorway
Jesus.
of this, because they were arguing over who should pick us up, because we're on the border sort of thing. And it's like,
Oh,
no, it's your
what?
responsibility. And they were going, no, you pick them up on
That's
the RAC.
ridiculous.
So nobody came for us till midnight. Then we ended up just getting taken slightly to this petrol station out of the
Yeah.
way. Didn't get picked up again to get to the hotel till 3 in the morning.
Oh my god.
So I got to this really, and it was annoying because it was a beautiful hotel, like really swanky, beautiful, at about 7, and I've got teaching at
Jesus.
9.
Oh my
So
god.
I went in, didn't sleep a wink, put my head down, straight back up,
Oh,
full
man,
day of
that's-
teaching in Glasgow as well, of all places.
God,
Hard
that must have been
face.
stressful, innit, man? That must have been hard.
It was really hard, and the funny thing is, like, I think Chrissy loves me, but she likes to push boundaries, because afterwards I finished teaching,
Yeah.
and she took me to this art exhibition,
Yeah.
and it's the trippiest thing
Yeah.
you've ever seen. It was just weird wax models and crazy polystyrene creatures
Crazy,
and
man.
just monsters. And
Wow.
I was in there for 2 hours, and they did a presentation of them all, and I started having a bit of sleep debt, and it was going, she took me here for a reason. Are they going to come get me? But I tell you what, the last part of that is when I did eventually get to a Premier Inn, because the hotel, I only had one night there,
Yeah.
but I thought, I'm not going home. I'm going to find somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
When I did get that sleep,
Yeah, it was-
oh, it feels good, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Did you have an extra line when they
Oh,
was banging on the door
mate.
trying to get you out?
Mate, they couldn't get me. I'll chuck you a tenner, let us stay. But it was that I kind of like going through such adversity because it's like my dad always says, always tie your shoes too tight in the day because when you take them off at night, you'll experience that beauty.
Yeah.
And it does. You understand resilience then.
Yeah.
So you broke down. You go and see everybody on this skate park.
Yeah.
Are they helping you?
Yeah, really helpful. One of our guys, the first guy we ever met that invited us there, Max, he had a sickest like V-dub camper,
Sick.
like a old one, just with like a little bed in the back and stuff. He just drove us everywhere when our van was broke.
Mate, this is wicked.
Yeah, he really looked after us, took us everywhere, and luckily the garage was only just around the corner, so we could kind of just walk up there if we wanted to get stuff out of our van.
So no massive language barriers then?
No, not really. Everyone in Germany spoke very well English, and Max would always come to the garage, or if we had to deal with something, would come with us just so he can help communicate, just to get us the best rates or whatnot.
Cool. It
Look
does
after
help
us.
having somebody native
Yeah, of
there,
course.
doesn't it?
Yeah. But everyone really, really, really looked after us. Like,
It's horrible when people can sniff out a tourist, isn't it?
yeah.
You know they're getting taken advantage of.
But luckily where we was in Germany, they never ever got any tourists. People was really confused to why we was in this village. Like,
Really?
We was at a skate competition that the locals organised there, and the newspaper was there, and they found out there was like 2 English or more just French. They like found out there was like tourists there. And they didn't interview us, but they asked the guys that was doing the skate competition, it's like, is it okay to take photos? And we put them in the newspaper and says we had tourists here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you end up breaking down, but you're staying here for 3 months then.
Yeah.
I mean, this is podcast on its own. We can just stay here, but
Yeah, we did quite a lot. We floated, went to Chemnitz as well, which is only like half an hour, 40 minutes from where we were stopping, which
Right,
is another
okay.
cool city. So I played a show out around
Wow.
that area as well. This is during COVID time, so it was like you just kind of had to know at this venue, and then there was a gig going off, and then people would turn up.
that's cool.
Like there's no like events. You
Good
couldn't-
crowd.
Yeah, it was a good crowd because it was after the skate competition. So everyone that came to this outdoor skate competition, we just came to the venue after, and the venue was at the house we were stopping at.
What?
Yeah, but this house was like a mansion. It actually had a genuine recording studio, like a genuine big venue with huge speakers inside.
Okay.
Like it was like
You'd landed on a pot of gold here, hadn't you?
yeah, it's just,
Accidentally. I bet you made it break down. Oh no, my van. I'm gonna have to stop with you guys.
no, it was nice.
Recording studio, venue.
Yeah,
What were you staying in?
we were sleeping in the van when
Okay.
it wasn't at the garage.
Yeah.
But when the van was at the garage, they also, because they had loads of bands played there, they had like 2 different band rooms anyway with loads of bunk beds in and stuff like that. So we just sleep in the house.
Wow.
Yeah,
How have they built this then?
the house.
Yeah. As
It's-
in, as a community, do they live there?
Well, I think it started in like probably late 70s or 80s. People just started squatting in it because it was abandoned. Like all the punks started squatting in there.
I'm trying to picture this. How'd you get an abandoned mansion?
It's just a big house. It's like I need to show you.
And
a
yeah, I
photo.
want to see this. To be fair,
Yeah.
but you know, so people have moved out of it. These guys are squatting in it, and they had electrics and everything.
Yeah, they had all the electrics in there and stuff, and eventually, years down the line, all the people that live there now brought this house for like not too much.
Okay.
I think it's about 14,000 or something.
Wow.
And they just do it up and just live in it. They do it bit by bit every year. Because obviously it's a kind of an old house.
Let's have a look then. I'll put this up on the. If you're watching this, guys, or if you're listening to this, watch it on YouTube, and you'll be able to see this house. Oh wow. Okay. Very colourful.
Yeah, everyone
Oh,
was a
some-
graffiti artist there. As well.
Really? Wow. This is such a cool life you're living, dude.
And everyone lived in these little wooden houses outside. They're built on trailers as well. So there's people living in the house, and people built their own little trailers outside with like little wooden cabins in.
This is one of them podcasts where you go, there's so many ways to live your life.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
out
mean?
there, it just really opens
You have a
the
tunnel
door.
vision, and then
Yeah.
you meet people and you go, oh, wow, that's another way to live life.
Yeah.
That's another way to experience
Such
things.
a
That's
nice, beautiful way to live.
Mate, absolutely stunning. Did you get any music videos?
Yeah, I filmed
there?
a music video outside there for Stiff Little Pigs.
Oh, thank God.
I got my friend from Chemnitz, LP Franco, to come over and film that. We did it like a one-shot take thing on a VHS.
Really?
Got some nice film photos of it all as well.
Something about, because obviously you can get effects and everything like that now, but actually doing it on a VHS,
Yeah.
that nostalgic vibe.
Yeah, I wanted it like
you
that.
can't really recreate that, can you?
I wanted to go for I think it's Incinerate by Sonic Youth, the music video. It's like, I think VHS, it's just very zoomed in and there's a lot of shakiness.
Yes, yeah.
So it's kind of like that vibe, but
I tried to create it once using the effects, and I
Yeah.
thought, just looks too
buy a
stagnant.
cheap VHS camera,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, they're not hard.
I mean, I'd say go to a charity shop, but they tried to shaft
Oh,
me
yeah.
recently. Many a time. I
Yeah.
thought, charity shops are making bank at the minute.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It was a tripod without the top bit on it, and they was charging me 50 quid. I thought, okay, hang on a minute.
Useless, man. What are you going to get? Some duct tape and wrap it
Yeah,
around the top?
yeah. That's great. So then, you're in this house.
Yeah.
Are you meeting amazing people from all over the world in this house, or it's pretty much the townspeople there?
Pretty much a lot of all the people that lived there was kind of from the area or around East Germany area. They just moved to this house and they just stopped there for however long. Like some people lived there for years and years and years, and kind of had like people that would like look after the house.
Is everyone a creative there?
Everyone's kind of a creative in a sense, but there's a lot of musicians there as well. But yeah, they just do all sorts. They like foraging, mushrooms, all sorts of random things. Like they love cooking.
And is it run quite as in socialism elements of it, where communal cooking together?
Yeah, we'll do soup
people-
kitchens like once a week. So we'll take it in turns, and everyone just donates like what, €1, €2, €3, how much you want. Then next week you've got the pot of money, and then someone will just go out and then cook a meal for everybody, and they just do that every week.
It's absolutely beautiful, because for me, I'm not massively into politics, but I find it interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not big heart capitalist, but I think there's elements there that have worked. I'm more socialist and lefty than I am into the capital market, but I just think anything on this grander scale doesn't work.
No, not on a grand scale.
That's it. It's just
These-
too big.
These guys are here because they're a community of kind of, I guess, fighting somebody else. They wouldn't be here otherwise.
And that's what, if for things to cultivate and things to work, it just needs to be broken. The models need to be adapted, but broken down more and used in them sort of areas.
Yeah.
And for hearing that, because I stayed in a community once in Bulangula, it was in South Africa.
Nice.
But again, there was about 2,000 people
Yeah.
all together, and we're next to the ocean. Everyone sort of got a job for the day,
Yeah.
but we're working max 3 hours, 4 hours a day,
Yeah.
and the rest of it's spent
Yeah.
coming together.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
all got a part to play, but it's you go catch a fish, we do the cooking of
Yeah,
it, and
that's how it should be,
tribal
but-
and
yeah.
beautiful. And I love talking like that, but I think people that talk of it on, we need to do that in the UK on a grand scale, it's
will
just
not work. It's
impossible.
impossible, man.
It really doesn't. So it sounds naive then, but I know that it exists, and it feels.
It does exist, yeah.
It feels right. You've just got to make that happen on your smaller surrounding.
Yeah.
An
yeah,
area.
You've got to build it into smaller communities.
Yeah, fraction of people.
Yeah.
I love it. So, I mean, was this your favourite part of being away, or then is there an aftermath from this as well?
Well, after we left there, we left.
Was it a lot of partying as well? Or?
Well, we don't drink,
Okay,
so we just
just lots of smoking and
yeah, smoking.
chilling.
People don't do any kind of hard drugs there.
Okay,
It's not. It's kind of frowned upon for people to do any sort of hard drugs there or party drugs or anything like that.
are they going off of bad experiences in the past, or?
No, it's kind of just more in the kind of hardcore punk scene. It's just not. People don't want you to see open sniffing bags and stuff like
Yeah,
that around.
yeah.
It's just kind of respectful. Like these people live in this house as well. So
Awesome.
you wouldn't kind of want people to come to your house and just random people to come, because it isn't random people can come there.
So did it feel very just calm and?
Yeah, it was calm. Like we had a few interactions where we had like a few weirdos that would just kind of walk up to the house and sit there and try and just jam with us, and like people would later tell us like they were meth heads and stuff like that.
I was going to say, could you just sense a vibe?
Yeah, there's a lot of meth out there because we're out on the border towards Czech, so you see people just stood on the corners going crazy, like on meth all the time. But
Is that like when Derby had sort of, what was that drug, a spice,
the spice,
and you
the
just
Black
walk
Mamba.
around town?
It's like that, bro,
Dude.
but complete opposite. If you start on, if this guy contacts you at all, he'll just chase you for 7 miles straight and not stop, and he'll have super strength powers.
Wow, you don't want that, do you?
I've never had to experience any crazy stuff with them, but people out there have been like, yeah, we've had people starting us before, and it took us like 5 people to just try and pin someone down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that'll do it, baby. So, trying to get away from that. I mean, you were chatting to me outside as well, and you've said on this podcast about Nazis still being prevalent in that area. So, were you getting Nazis coming up to the house ever, or were they trying to cause conflict?
No, not when we was there really. They just kind of want to put across their ideology to the public, and they'll do like stuff like that. They have said they've had altercations before, I feel, when they've came from the city centre to their location and stuff and tried to cause trouble and stuff like that, but I think they know that it's not worth doing. It's such a small community in that place. Like, they all probably know each other. Like, they've all probably got like friends of friends, or someone knows them in that sense. I think they don't want to make it too ugly, probably with the other people.
Why have Nazis remained? Do you know
I think it's just
how that?
it's just brainwashed from down the line. They've never left, and then throughout generations they've just been hanging about with Nazis. Like, we've met people that would just tell us they were kind of Nazis in the past, and now they've realised that it was bad and it was brainwashed as like young girls and stuff like that, and now they've realised, and now they're not a Nazi, now they're fully against that and they hate Nazis. It is being brainwashed and manipulative to be younger people. If you're brought up or surrounded by it, you will become that.
I watched a great documentary recently on the KKK.
Yeah.
But it was a guy who was on a talk show, and they've got him on. I can't remember his name. I'm going to have to put it in the notes afterwards. But then they had one of the leaders of the KKK on the same talk show together. But because this was a black man, but just the loveliest, most compassionate man you could ever imagine. Yeah. And because he was just so friendly and nice, that he sparked a bit of the KKK guy's interest. He wanted to find out who he was. So after the talk show, they went and had a beer together.
Nice.
And he was just trying to understand his ideology and how he'd grown from where he'd come from, because he'd never seen such compassion in a human, in essence. He was just so friendly, charismatic. So then he asked if they could meet up a week later, and they turned up to the pub, and he bought his gown and everything associated with the KKK and said, "You need that. I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm done. You've changed my whole perspective."
That's what it takes.
And it genuinely just
people that are racist.
meeting like people that are going to be loving, accepting, understanding, open. And fire doesn't really help if you're just aiming fire at it. You've got to dampen it somehow.
Yeah, you have to understand it from the other side.
Then he took it on his mission to go and convert everybody then. So he's going into KKK communities and just being nice, just chatting with them, talking about them.
That's how it needs to be done.
It was real. Honestly, I'll send you that documentary over, but one of them moments where you go, oh, this could change the world. This really could. And it's not all this shouting and screaming and cussing out people and telling them they're doing it wrong. It's this, do you know what? I get you. I understand why you're there. But I'm just letting you know there's a nicer way of being. There's a better experience around the corner if you're open to it. And I think that's really beautiful. Yeah. But then again, sometimes they do need a punch to wake them up, don't they?
When we was in Germany as well, they have like a kind of a day. I think I can't remember the name of the day, but it's like a political day. So all the political parties have like their own little demonstrations around town and stuff like that. And apparently the far right one was just very formal, in your face, like marching around wearing the fucking uniform type shit, but
indoctrinating them.
The kind of the left wing one where we was literally like a family fun day out. We had like little rides, cupcakes. We had like acoustic folk music, like creative stuff to do there.
If you're doing them on the same day and you're in the right one, you're just looking over going,
Yeah.
I wish we believed in that.
Yeah. And that's the way to do it, though. That's the way
Yeah.
that's the perfect way to do it. That's what it's about. Like,
Completely. That's transformative and long lasting. Then.
yeah.
I do little snippets of this podcast, and that's one of the mini pods there.
Yeah, nice.
Because genuinely, I've been young before, and I've seen injustice and listened to politics. It was on the rise up of Russell Brand's days, and I was studying everything.
Yeah.
But I become this little boffin. I was just going around shouting at people, "We need to be like this, man!" and PC culture, this. And you know what? It's so ironic now because I look at that culture and people screaming at people, telling them what to do, and I think, I was such a knobhead. But you have to sort of somewhat go through that at times, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
It's a part of the growth of knowing what does and doesn't work.
Well, yeah, you learn how to approach people.
Conduct yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you see that from the other side. All you got to do is look at videos of other people preaching stuff in other countries as well, doing things, and you're like, whoa, that looks crazy, man. This man's like on the next level things. Like,
Then
I don't look like that, do
people
I?
screaming out the Bible. Has anybody ever walked past them and gone, do you know what?
Yeah, give me that Bible,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I like what you're about.
I need some roach.
The only time they must manage to convert people in that are the really like suffering, walking by just in a lowest of places.
Yeah, of
and do you really
course.
want to catch them at that point in that?
That's what I'm
that
saying. That's
state?
why it comes across a bit manipulative at times. Like, especially some sort of religions will take hold of vulnerable and give them a light and a vision, but while they do that, they could brainwash it. That's what.
And then you're so open to taking on anything then, and they've given me one answer and it made me feel certain amount better. Thus, now we've got you.
Yeah.
Again, I listen all day to cult documentaries. That's my sort of.
I love watching stuff about cult documentaries.
Did you ever watch is it Wild Wild Country? It was the Osho one in America. And again, they just ended up getting homeless people into this cult and taking them into a really small, out-the-way town area and just taking it over. It's crazy. It's one of the best cult documentaries I've ever seen. It was based on which most religions are, beautiful principles, really genuine heartness. But then the founder of this cult or set of beliefs moved on and left it in charge of this woman, and the power she just felt and just corrupted everything. They started poisoning the town people in the water supplies, in the food. They go and poison people so they could win when they had voting system and stuff. They couldn't turn up to vote on them days. So then they took over. That is so clever.
Back in the day, now you can just kind of do it online, I guess.
Sign up. I'll be right. You've got to watch that, dude.
Yeah, what's it called?
Wild Wild Country.
Wild Wild Country.
Osho, and he's an amazing spiritual guide and leader.
Yeah.
But he got repped in a really a bad name from it. But it was actually his left-hand lady that turned it all into this really sour cult.
Yeah.
You can see how cults are so easy to sort of branch.
Yeah, of course, man.
Desperate people.
Yeah.
So keep going, man. I'm so this is me. I just get excited and then I start taking us down weird paths. But I want to know more about your travelling.
Yeah.
How much were you performing out there as well?
I only played the one show.
That one show?
Everywhere else was literally no shows allowed. Like,
right.
The show that I played wasn't really allowed. The only shows that were going off were in like Czech Republic. So a lot of people from Europe were kind of going to Czech Republic to do tours and stuff.
Right.
But no, you weren't allowed any shows anywhere in Europe.
So that show, how did it feel to be able to actually be around people, create music? Was it such an exciting vibe?
Yeah, it was sick because I'd met like a good friend Tim as well that was living at the house, and we just jam like just every other night. We'd get the guitars out, get the drums out, and we'd just play in the venue. And I'd be like, "You want to play the drums for me?" I'd be like, "He'd be like, yeah." So we just practiced our set. So I had like my German friend playing the drums for me, and because I'd been living in this house for like 2 months or whatever, We just knew everyone,
Wow.
and everyone was
Wow.
like, "Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to seeing you." And it's just really nice. Like,
Are you still creating music on Logic and things as well out there?
yeah, I still making music along the whole way, and whenever I could find a room to record in or the van or anywhere, I
Huh.
would still get the mic out and just record it. All the music I'm still releasing now is what I've recorded when I've been away.
Wow.
I just kind of work on loads of music and then just release it.
And
over
quite
like
a lot
year.
of collaborations out there, meeting
Yeah,
different people.
I went to a cool studio in Chemnitz. It's on like a really high tower block, it's the top floor, and this guy just had a huge studio, Palito, big him up, and
Yeah.
BTPA.
Best be watching.
Yeah, they will.
He will.
And these guys, is like, he's quite a young guy, man, Palito, and he just grinds, the sickest producer. He just mixing, mastering, everything, makes all the beats for these guys and records all these
Oh,
guys. And he's just got a sick studio space. And
Have you made friends for life here? Could you go out any time and just
yeah, of course.
live with them for a bit?
Yeah, I feel they came live with me as well. Our German friends that we were stopping with, was been living with us for like the last month.
On the boat?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well, they came over in their van, so they were just sleeping in the van next to us.
Wow.
But they come and chilling. Took them all over the place, and they came to a couple shows over here as well.
That's another factor of you. You live on a boat at the minute.
Yeah, it's my parents' boat.
What are they living in?
They're living in like UAE now. They're working in Dubai.
Cool.
Yeah, my dad just got a job there, so he's flown out there. My mum's gone to live with him out there.
Wow, so you're
Just-
living their life here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just filling in everything
Looking
for
after
them.
the boat for them. Yeah.
What? Okay, I've never met anyone that lives on a boat yet.
Yeah.
This is my first experience. So give me a bit of a cribs on boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So like, okay, I walked down the jetty, big ass long jetty. You walk down for ages, all the way to the end. Right at the end, obviously, the biggest boat right at the end.
Oh, nice. I'm
Yeah.
picturing. I'm in.
You walk through your little gate. You have to unzip the door to go through like the little tent bit. It's like an outdoor bit with a tent.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that. I've seen them.
Yeah. Then you open the door, push the top bit, slide down, and it goes down into the steps. And then you've got the whole living space there.
How tall?
It's pretty high.
Bit like
yeah.
6 foot?
How high do you think it is? I don't know.
When you're stood in there, you could put
easy,
your
high
hands
enough.
in there.
There's big cabinets in there that are higher than me with stuff on top.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Awesome.
real big. And then long ways, just all the living space with a kitchen at the far end, like an L bench, and then a little alleyway. And the alleyway goes all the way to the other end of the boat. And down the alleyway, you've got your first bedroom there. Then you've got a bathroom.
This is awesome. This is a great crib.
A bathroom with a bath and a shower on a boat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got another toilet cubicle next to it, and then you've got like the master bedroom, which is just like the whole end of the boat with like these little nice doors that you can open with like a little porch with a
Flat
little
screen.
table.
You got a TV up
There's a
in
TV
there?
in there, but in the living space, there's one in the bedroom, but we don't use the one in the bedroom. We don't tend to watch much telly unless
I'm
it's
so
the evening.
into film now. That's
Yeah.
my one thing. When I'm travelling, whatever I've been on the mission of, at night after the wildest day,
Yeah, you
I just
wanna-
need to wind me down. Whatever
Yeah.
it is, some beautiful film to put on. I love film.
I'm
but
just more of a
music
something
and...
random. No, just the most randomest shit.
Oh,
You know,
I'll
like
get
how
ya.
it's made type things, or
Yeah.
documentaries, or really weird.
YouTube.
Yeah, just YouTube stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
you know,
I
the
will
dark deep end of YouTube.
I will get in some mad rabbit holes down
Yeah.
YouTube. Algorithms know me too well, better than I know me.
Yeah, man. It'll tell you more about yourself sometimes, isn't it? It's like, how did you know?
Yeah. But what you just described to me then sounds idyllic and beautiful. What aren't you enjoying about it? Because it feels you've got everything you could need, but no clutter. You've got a perfect space, but all the materialism and everything else is outside the window. So what aren't you enjoying?
I enjoy being like in around the nature and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, I don't know. It's just so much stuff I never thought about living on a boat. I've been living in the van obviously, but there's so much more to living on a boat. So the water's not been working for a bit. We have to take our toilets out like every day, every other day, and walk a really long way to take the toilets out. But I think the only thing is it's not my space. It's obviously we want our own space so we can just be creative and just do what we want. It's my parents' space. We're kind of just looking after, and it's like a really really nice place as well. But just need my own space.
I
I feel.
completely agree. When I was travelling, I was staying in hostels
Yeah.
and everything, and it's beautiful. You're with new people every
Yeah.
day. You're having the most incredible times together. Everything's new, but just getting back and experiencing some of them amenities and having your kitchen space.
Yeah.
Nobody's nicked your last bit of cheese or whatever out your bag.
Yeah.
There are some really, it's like I said earlier, when you tighten your shoes too tight,
Yeah.
and then you appreciate
Yeah.
the feeling at the end of the day. Same with going and living in small confined areas or hostels.
Yeah.
When you get back, you go,
course.
oh wow, this is so appreciative of what I
Yeah.
have got. And definitely just being able to find a bit of time to self is very hard in hostel living spaces.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just living in the sticks as well. Always in the sticks.
Do you struggle with that then? That's a good
Yeah.
conversation, because Ripley's kind of sticks, isn't it?
Yeah, I grew up around these places. I'm kind of alright with it. More, my girlfriend's never really grown up around here, so she kind of struggles with being in. She says it's the sticks. You say it's the sticks, don't you?
It's definitely the
For
sticks.
me, it's like I know it's the sticks, but kind of I'm like, this ain't the sticks. I know the sticks.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it's like, wait, where am I on the map? It's like, fuck yeah, I'm in the sticks.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best sticks to be in, because if you're in America, in Arizona or something, and you're
in the
just in the
sticks.
cornfields
Yeah.
for hours and hours, then
that's
you're out.
Mentally, that'd be hard.
Ripley, 40 minutes Nottingham,
Yeah.
20 minutes Derby.
It's just driving, man. That's
Matlock.
what gets to me. The price of fuel,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like just having to drive somewhere that I look on a map and it's like, that should take me 10 minutes. Why is it taking me an hour? Like most of the time.
But deep down, heart of heart, are you more into the hustle and bustle, being able to open your door, 2-minute walk, you're in the
of
main
course,
part and
yeah.
area? I think that, again, that's a bit of my envy towards a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
I sound like a right jealous little bitch, don't I?
That's right. You have your little nice house in the city one day.
But the grass is always greener, and people always come here and they'll walk around and go, "You're so lucky.
Yeah.
Look, you've got a
Yeah.
field that grows mushrooms." I'm gonna get loads of backpackers now walking around wandering, but
Don't say that on the podcast.
They'll come down and they'll just list off and hurl loads of things of what I'm really lucky for.
Yeah, it's a different life though. Like,
But it's that grass is greener, because in my heart of heart, I'm always going, yeah, but I feel very isolated and alienated at times. I always want to collaborate. I always want to be around like-minded people, hive minds.
Yeah.
And it's that inspiration fuels.
yeah, it feels off other people as
And
well.
I struggle to get that sometimes, because it's 40 minutes to get to Knots, but
Yeah.
that 40 minutes in your day with a baby, with your
Yeah, of
partner,
course, yeah.
it's hard to find at times, so you
It's-
don't.
I find, and I've lived in the city, like right in the city for a few years, and I've lived in the sticks and had to drive, and I found that you just build a different connection with people in the city when you live there, because you can just step out your door and you can see people at least like 4 or 5 times a week. You can see some people if you go to the marketplace and go skate. You see that person every day,
Yeah.
even if it's only for like 10 minutes. But you have a way different relationship with that person, unless you was to go like once a week or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that person would just fully come up to you and be like, "Hey, how you doing? What you saying?" Like,
You it feels a novelty to go and see your friends, and it's an occasion and a moment. But like you say, you're not building strengthly bridges together,
Yeah.
and them constant connections, because then you'll put, say if I go once every 2 weeks or 3 or whatever, you'll put an idea forward and you'll go, oh, let's build a track, let's work on this
Yeah.
thing, but then quickly after, because you're not seeing each other a lot,
Yeah.
it dissipates, and
yeah, you got to
it just
think, if
fizzles.
you've not seen someone for like 2 weeks, imagine how many people that person saw in that 2
Yeah,
weeks.
exactly.
It's like, especially if you're in the city, you'll see like 30 friends a day you could just walk past, and you'll forget you've seen someone. You'll be like, oh, when was the last time I seen you? Like, I saw you yesterday. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, what?
The one, I mean, I love talking about things like this, because everything's got a byproduct, everything's got a positive and a negative to it. So some things that I enjoy being out in the sticks on our own is I really got a true sense of who I am and what I'm about, because I'm not being
influenced too much.
influenced on a constant by everybody else and building a persona around it.
I think same as me. I feel like when I was in Nottingham when I first came a solo artist, I was a bit lost because I was around so much things. I was like, I want to be this, I want to be that. But I feel like when I moved out of our Knott's apartment and we moved back to my parents in the sticks and we was there building a van and doing all this and just not going to the city, I was like, really sat back and refreshed me, and I was like, okay, this is what I'll do. Like, I can see it clearly now. I've not been influenced too much.
It's wild. When I was really in the scene and when I didn't have a partner and commitments, I'd be every day in Nottingham all the time, maze, just going. Yeah. But having that breath away and step away and looking back at that character I'd developed, I really noticed that it had been built from so and so characters, and which is it can be a good thing because you're trying to chameleon and be involved within it, but then you will lose a part of sense of yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Where I was saying, because I feel like I've travelled to so many places and met different people. They do rub off onto me. Yeah. But I feel like because that's in a different place, all these kind of things come to this thing. It makes it different. It makes it kind of alright. I feel like if I've hung about with people in Nottingham for a while or somewhere in another city for a while, I will start to get influences from them people, and I'll be like, oh shit, I'm actually like getting a Yorkshire accent now or something. And like, I'm actually starting to become more of this.
When I lived in Australia, you should have seen my identity that I built. I lived out in. When we talk of sticks, I went to the arse end of the universe. Nice. This small little town, honestly, must have been about 1,000 people max. Yeah. It's where the stop off for all the truckers. And I don't know where the next big town was, but it was just in the middle of nowhere. But it was with the hillbillies, I suppose you'd call them, of Australia. And I'm just like, you're right, mate, how we doing? All right, getting in all that. Like, just no idea I was anymore. Went through my biggest identity crisis ever because I thought, if I don't fit in here... Did you? I wished I could grow a mullet, mate. But honestly, it was so weird because I thought, if I don't chameleon here and I don't fit in, I'm going to be mincemeat. But I really mean this. I don't know if you've been to certain areas while travelling, but they had such a strange way of communicating together. So their parties, they'd like smash bottles on each other's heads and then they'd start laughing. And I'm just going, oh no, this is not what I see as fun. And I'm going to all these parties and they get so drunk so quick and they're just punching each other,
that's Australian
fighting,
people, isn't it? They're
smashing
crazy,
bottles, and they're like, they'll just do that, but Beavis and Butthead. And I'm like, going, oh no.
You see, I try and step away from that.
That's where I really got into film. I had a little hard drive with about 2,000 films on, and I must have seen them all. It was Mikey, get your money, bugger off back to Melbourne or something. Be with the cultural people.
Yeah. So I've never been to Australia, but I've been to Bali, and Bali's all the Australians go to Bali, and if we've been anywhere where it's like all the Australians are always like, right, come on, next town.
I mean, it's good
party,
fun.
Man.
It's good fun, but for a day.
Yeah, like, man, high intense. Like, I don't drink as well, so it's like, what have I got now? I can't surf as well, so.
It was a real cultural barrier. They didn't seem to get our humour as well. Sort of, we're quite dry. Just taking the piss, and a lot of times I'd be out and about and I'd say something very flippantly and I'm nearly at the back end of a fight and I'm going, no, that was a banter. That was banter. You fucking what, mate? you want to go?
Oh man, I love this Australian accent.
Australia, it also one of my favourite places though, because it is just. You if you want to be zen and you want to be out the way, there's places for it. But if you want to be in the hustle and bustle and madness, there's places for it. And you just find out what suits you there. I love Melbourne. That probably one of the places I'd wind up and I'd settle down in Melbourne. Because that exactly, you've got the craziness, wild lifestyle. But St Kilda, where I lived, just out the way, that's where you've got the arts and creatives and music and that scene.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about Melbourne.
Oh, mate, absolutely stunning. Just, it does get the English weather now and then, which you didn't expect going to Australia. Some cold nights there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's horrible. So, I mean, for yourself, do you think yours is Canada? Is that where you'd end up?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's got the most room there. Everyone's spread out, nice. No one's on top of anyone. It's kind of possible to have nice land there. Good living quality.
Good money for
Yeah, the money's
values?
good as well. Yeah, for sure. It's the houses are a lot cheaper. The wages are better, and it's right next to America as well. So for doing music, and I market all my music at Canada and America anyway.
Do you feel very lucky because Maud's family just got up and gone and travelled?
Yeah.
Your family got up and gone and travelled. Have you been inspired by them to do your thing?
Well, no, I wanted to move to Canada for a long while. I think Maud's wanted to move to Canada for longer than me as well. But we've been trying to do it for some time. It's just very, very long process, and obviously with COVID off as well, we had to stop our visas because we're going to do the 2 years work visa, and then it swapped over, and that
have
got
you done
cancelled.
some gigs as well in Canada?
No, I've not played any shows in Canada yet. I know quite a few artists from Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. So, would you go and do sort of a bit of a tour in Canada? And
yeah, in the future, yeah, for sure. Obviously, I need to have a visa to do that, so I can't do that until we finally sorted our permanent visa.
But you said you'd quite like to have a band in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, this is so amazing. What a human. I'm going to go Canada, start a band, move about, smoke a lot of weed and live life.
Yeah.
Yes, baby.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And
You've sold it.
Eventually have a label as well, set a label up.
Okay, so I'm going to build your picture with you then of idealism. Most perfect space. You're in Canada.
Yeah.
You've got a studio space.
Yeah.
You've got a band.
Yeah.
And are you living near a lake?
Probably near a lake, yeah.
Definitely helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does
in the
help.
woodland area.
It's not too far from the city centre though. It depends what time in my life. When I'm high, I feel doing the music, my height, probably more in a city. I feel like when maybe we're a bit older and we want to retire and have some, like 50 dogs or something.
50?
No, I'm joking. Some big Alaskan dogs and stuff like that.
That's how you turn up to your gigs.
yeah, on sleigh. I've told Maud we're going to Alaska and we're going to have some sleighing dogs.
That I get this image from the Simpsons movie where he's got them dogs and then they just attack him at the end.
Yeah.
Go!
Go have a massive epiphany.
Yeah. The boobs show him the way. Everything I've ever learned is from the Simpsons or South Park.
Yeah, same man.
It's about it.
Yeah.
I love them shows.
Teach you a lot.
That's my escapism. Definitely.
I still put
The
that
old Simpsons, though.
Yeah, of course.
I think they lost me at season 15, 16.
Yeah.
I'm going back from there. Box sets 1 to 16.
Yeah, I can just remember all the box sets.
Every day.
I can remember
different
having
colours.
7, 8. Yeah,
I think
they were some of the
8
best.
might have been blue. They had a red one. I think that was 11.
Yeah.
I've got them all at my nan's.
Sick.
Still
Yeah,
in
nice.
pristine condition.
Nice. Sick.
Too much wisdom to be found. So do you, for this band then, how do you go to another country and just build a band and find the sound that you want to craft? How do you have that vision?
I feel like it's just going to kind of be a progression from me. Like, when I first go to Canada, I feel, because I have a band now that play with me live already, but I just play under the name Jonjo Yano. So I feel that'll be the first step. Probably just get sort of drummer over there, a guitarist, and then I feel like once I've found kind of the right people and stuff like that, and I'm at the right place in life, then I feel it will kind of progress to a band. It'll be like hopefully I'm big and famous under the name Jonjo Yano by then, and then it'll be like one of them super band type things, and it's like, oh shit, it's like Fred Durst is like the fucking singer with Jonjo Yano in that new fucking new metal band. Yeah, and they've got like Wes Borland on the guitar as well from Limp Bizkit.
Because you are different to a lot of artists. You're very just self-made, aren't you? Everything you've done, your album, like Maud's helped with it, but it's just been you and mates conjuring it up together, and the promotion, the getting on gigs and everything.
Yeah, I just don't fuck with big corporal people. I've had some like a lot of people offer me stuff, but it's always like you need to pay us money. It's like I don't want to pay you money.
Yeah, yeah.
I just do it myself. I'll find out how to do that job.
Try and take a big chunk out of it eventually. We'll do this, and this for you, and all you've got to do is give us this.
Yeah.
And go, hang on a minute.
I don't know. I just find that.
What are you actually doing?
I just love the DIY vibe to all of it. If you need to know how to do it yourself, like what?
I think the fans and the people that are true to you will stay for longer though, because they understand the process and your dedication and what you do for your music and how much you believe in your music. So they're going, no, I'm going to give him props and I'm going to stick for that ride. If it was buy this CD from me and it's a tenner, I know that's going to you. Yeah. And I go, Jonjo works harder than anyone I know, puts in all the grind, all the effort. Of course I want to give him that tenner. Yeah. If it's somebody where all the layers of that humility has been removed, I'm going, but where's this tenner actually going? How much does that artist see? And how much does everybody else behind with the sticky fingers see?
Not about it. You can tell. You can kind of just see it, can't you, when someone's just kind of had been puppeted and stuff like that.
I've felt it in people I love and artists I've known for years, and then I've seen them. And I'm not saying all managers are bad, and I'm not saying it's the wrong path for everybody, but there's people that I've watched the progression of from being homemade to getting a manager and gone, oh, I don't like that. That doesn't work.
You just move them around, shape them up in it, so they know they could make more money off them.
I think it was Bill Burr. Do you like Bill Burr, comedian?
No, I'm not
from Boston, slaphead, that is famous for when he just had a go at this crowd and he's just calling them all a bunch of twats and just going, you fucking idiot, and it's one of the funniest rants I've ever seen. He did it for about 15 minutes because the crowd are hating on him and all these different people, and the second he just turns it on to them, they love him. They're yeah, we love this. We want to be called twats. But he got famous for that. But his podcast is him just ranting again. But he said something on the line of, you're better to have sold 100 CDs that are all yours and you've made all the profit from than 10,000 and you're having to split that profit 3 ways because of everything you've had to sell along with that, not just the profit from the CD but all the rights, all the direction towards it.
It's not worth it at all.
You've sold yourself then, haven't you?
Yeah, it's obviously you if you're doing that, you put 1/10 of the effort in. Like ideally, you just spend your time doing something else. If you're kind of doing that type of industry with that type of people, you'll probably spend all your time just on social media, like just showing your face and just active and making content like that while the other people do stuff for you. But if you want to just do it all on yourself like that, you can't do that.
Well, did you start off with some of my mates then from Millhill days and Ripley? I love that when we connected on the podcast over that. It was one of my funniest podcast moments. I went,
Even Maud used to hang about in Ripley. Maud used to hang about out of town.
Living it large, out of town days. Oh, mate. I mean, that was it. I've had Project Zeus on recently and obviously Motormouth and so on. And they all reflect on being with you and stuff at the out of town and them days. But how different are you on... You're 26 now, and when were you starting doing live shows? 16?
Probably like 13.
13, wow. Yeah. Go on, of the evolution of you as an artist, how different do you sound from here to here?
Well, I started playing the drums in bands really, so I only had minimal input on what I wanted to sound like, so it was more indie. So I started on the indie, then I went to some punk hardcore type stuff, then I went to some shoegaze, grunge type stuff, then I had my phase of wanting to sound like Tears for Fears with a project. I'll link you that stuff.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then I started doing trip hop stuff under the name Jonjo, and then I rebranded myself as Jonjo Yano, and then I started doing hip hop, trap, grunge stuff, and that's been going for probably about 1.5 years now under the name Jonjo Yano.
Did you always get a sense, being at the back on the drums, that's where I want to be, looking over and saying, I want to be the front man. I want it
Yeah,
to be on.
always. I started on the drums, then I went to the guitar, and then I was like, okay, now I need to do vocals, don't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Then I did the vocals on the
Push me
guitar,
up.
and then I would put the guitar down, now I just do the vocals.
What were some of your best times in Ripley scene then? Where you just smash? Because
Oh, yeah, there's some...
you can have a party, can't it? It's like Shameless.
Yeah, for sure, man. There was always really heavy, like, death metal, hardcore gigs on it out of town, and, like...
Wow.
I can remember just on the function room up, and there's like chandeliers in there and stuff. And there's like mans hanging off chandeliers.
Oh,
like
mate.
the police are coming in and seeing people like pitting and fighting and thinking there's actually like a massive fight going off, and everyone's just like, no. And the police are like trying to drag people out because they're pitting to live music.
And are you just playing throughout this as well?
I was just watching it at the time. I was in an indie band at that time, but I wasn't playing in the hardcore band at that time when this happened.
Are there parts of that you do quite nostalgically miss then?
Yeah, for sure. The hardcore, that's why I used to love going to hardcore and punk gigs, because it's crazy. Someone could just literally bring a massive fucking table out of nowhere and just throw it over your head and be like, oh my
mate.
god, what's that? And then someone just running around the crowd like climbing on people.
Do you feel what it's doing is just speaking to your animalistic tribal nature when you're in them sort of
You
environments?
just want to go crazy, innit?
I love
Shut
it,
your
yeah.
eyes and just go crazy.
Because I mean, my real self is very chill on the beach, somebody with a ukulele, and I'm just gone in an abyss of happiness.
Yeah.
But the second that I go to one of those style gigs, something new unleashes out of me,
I
and
mean, everybody has it
it's
in
my
them. You
real
can't deny everybody has
ancestral
some.
nature
Yeah.
comes out. But I don't try and disguise it. I join in with the antics.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, man.
I'll play.
It comes out, doesn't it?
Remember, it might have been at the Plant Pot in Derby.
Oh yeah.
But my mate took me to one of them gigs, and everyone was sort of, looking at me in said way. It felt a bit odd because, like, the punk scene's supposed to be quite accepting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, that's the essence of it. Is
probably not the UK punk scene.
yeah, there you go. But these lot were, you don't belong here. I was
Yeah.
thinking, come on, you don't want to just build a ton of people all as one like yourselves, or you're
Yeah.
very ironically going against what you're against, if
Just
that
because
makes
you've not
sense.
got like a leather patch jacket
There
on or
you go.
something, Yeah.
And I was just dressed as me,
Yeah.
and I thought, I believe the essence of this is all just coming together on a common unity
Yeah.
and making music and having fun. But that was it. The second the music started, and some of the people were, I'll bash him.
Yeah.
I was going, because I used to play a lot of rugby as well.
Yeah.
So it was rugby, boxing. And I went.
Yeah.
The ones that were trying to hurt me and go in, I was like, let's have it. And I was loving it.
Yeah,
I was
man.
so...
You gotta take it out, man.
Oh,
you gotta get it
brother,
out.
there's something deep-rooted in me there too, where the Ripley boy comes out.
Yeah.
I've built up different personality files.
Yeah.
And I've got Rhythmical
Ripley
Mike,
boy.
Mikey, which is pretty much who you're seeing now, and
Yeah.
I like to display the most. But when I've got Wild Man Rip, I've not named him yet, but I will. But when Jason comes out, you're getting it. So you do miss an element of that.
Yeah.
But that's not quite where you're going to evolve yourself to when you're in Canada.
No.
You're going to stay down this road.
Yeah, chill rude, yeah.
What you've been doing with Motormouth in Liverpool at the minute, because you keep spending a bit of time up there.
Oh, I just went up for a gig. I played a show with him.
Did you do two?
No, I've only been up
Just
there
the
once.
once?
Yeah.
I think he just reposted something then.
Yeah, he reposted something. Yeah.
Ah, because
yeah.
I saw you'd done it maybe a few weeks ago. Or...
Yeah, I think it was about a few weeks ago. Yeah.
And then he put another one up recently.
Yeah, I
of
think
you
that's
being
because
there.
he's got another one of the hip hop event HQ that he does. So.
How did it go down?
Yeah, it was sick. Like,
Was it?
Yeah, like the place is really cool. It's the Jacaranda Club, and it's like where the Beatles used to go and do all this stuff and hang about. And
Motormouth, man.
yeah, man.
He just goes and finds it, doesn't he?
He's a lovely guy, and it was really nice. I'd not seen him since the whole time I'd been away. It's probably been like 2 years since I'd seen him or something. It's crazy.
I mean, if he is bait when you go fishing, he's the best thing you could be throwing in with your
Yeah,
line. You're
yeah.
going, right, whatever
Yeah.
direction this goes in, something beautiful's
Yeah,
coming
couldn't-
back. I'm
yeah,
going to catch a
innit?
shark.
For sure.
What's the setup there then for the night and everything?
Yeah, it was. So we had a guy called Philip. What was his name? What?
Philip Von Flop.
Philip Von Flop.
Nice.
And it was kind of like a loop station and stuff like that opened, and it was sick. I got the audience fully going, making some sick songs.
Really?
Yeah,
I love it when people do audience interaction.
like it literally. I've got T-shirts that are me pissing on a scooter because it's kind of like a skateboard
Can
reference.
I buy one of them? I've wanted one for ages.
Yeah, I ain't got one on me, but I'll
no,
bring you one down.
I'll buy one after. That's wicked because I love that design. Did Maud do that?
Yeah, Mod did that. Mod did these ones as well.
No, Maud's sick.
These are new T-shirts that are coming out.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Tell people where they can get them.
They're not online yet, but they'll be online soon. You got the sick tags in there as well.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
Powered by the croissants.
Ah, I feel.
Yeah, bit of promo there.
Mate, promo up.
Just follow Angry Zoid on Instagram, and you'll be able to find all the stuff about it. Got T-shirts coming out. Got this colour. Got black as well.
And did you give influence for the pissing on one?
Yeah, I told Maud, I was like, I need me pissing on the scooter. I was like, you know the old OG stickers where it's like man pissing on like Newcastle T-shirts or Liverpool T-shirts? Yeah. I was like, I need that, but I was like, it needs to be a scooter.
You're doing it on a scooter?
Yeah.
Why? What's
just
because
skateboarders just don't really get along with scooters at skate parks. So it's kind of, it's that sort of reference. Yeah.
I like this.
There's like something there between them, like... Skaters just hate scooters.
Have you ever been a scooter? No. Would you admit to it if you had?
Yeah, of course I would, but I never have. I was just always a skateboarder.
You never looked at one and gone.
I rode a BMX. That's kind of like it's cool. It's still cool. It's not as uncool as a scooter.
The problem is though, for most kids, that's the first thing a parent will buy because they think, oh, safer, get them on a scooter. So it's parents' fault, really.
It's not safer.
Yeah.
They're still a death trap.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I was pretty good on mine. Back in the day. I never took it to the skate park or anything, and I just got about.
Man, they're dangerous, man.
Rocking around Ripley.
It's easier to go high and fast on it, so you will fuck yourself up a lot more. So you progress a lot faster on it, but you will fuck yourself up a lot more. Skateboarding progression's a lot slower, but I feel like you gain a lot more control and balance throughout that in general, everything.
Are skateboarders inclined and happy for newbies to be coming into their culture?
Course.
They enjoy that.
Yeah, always. Like we get new people down at the Snetton Market in Nottingham come through all the time that are just starting skating and
really.
Yeah, and you can just sit with them. Like you can just chat to them like you've known them for like 10 years. Like people will be inclusive. You've got to make the approach.
Yeah.
Like some people seem quite scary, but like as soon as you come up to them and you chat to them, just ask them, just have a nice conversation. They'll tell you how to do a trick. They'll tell you some information.
That's great. I mean, my only in-way with it was playing Tony Hawk back in the day.
Yeah, still, that's everybody grew up on that.
I watched his podcast recently, Tony Hawk.
Sick.
He's amazing human.
Yeah, man.
Really interesting. He gets a lot of criticism for the way he is and his personality. Supposed to be quite sharp, but he really transformed that culture, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or does it? What does he get in your culture? Does he get bad rep or?
I don't know. He doesn't get really massively bad rep, I feel, but obviously that his type of skating is just not on the same level as a lot of the people that I would skate with. We don't have vert ramps. He's a vert skater, so.
What do you skate then?
Just street or like park. So.
Do you get a lot of shit for it? Do people, security guards, people come out and?
Not so much. Like.
Because they're some of my favourite YouTube videos.
Yeah, I've had it before. We've been in Bali and we've tried to break into this like private hotel resort just because it has a skate park in the back garden. It's like a fruit bowl. It's like it's all spray painted like a fruit. And you have to pay like £100 or something a night to go stop there to go skate. And we was like, we're not paying that. We'll just go break in. And we've like broke in, and we've got the security coming, like grabbed us, like took us out. And it's like, you need to go. And then we're walking through the gate, and all the security are like speaking in like I don't know, Malay or something, just like swearing at us. And our Malay friends just like, yo, that's not good, man. They're telling us to fuck off and all this thing. They're gonna call the police and they're gonna fuck us up.
Really?
Yeah, we was like, nah, we just go.
Yeah. I hate bureaucratic Puritan people though. Do you know if you're actually causing danger in the cities, skating over people, kids out the way. I'm all about going and telling people to calm down if necessary. But the fact that you're just on about doing your thing in a really safe environment, not causing a fuss, I really struggle why people, Jobsworths,
Yeah.
have to get involved and get so angry at it. It's
Innit,
just,
man?
I suppose it is just to feel that sense of power, isn't it, for a minute?
Yeah, for sure.
I've told somebody
they
what
think
to
you're
do.
a kid because you're on a skateboard. Just,
Yeah.
It's in the nature just to tell them off and be like, no, stop that. And it's like, just because what, it scared you. The amount of like old people I've just skated past, and it's nothing louder than like pushing a trolley past someone or doing something like just skating, rolling past someone, and they'll just be like, act like they're having a heart attack. And
It's
like,
urban, and you're actually, for free, seeing some skills being presented in front of you.
I could be stood there juggling something, and they'd all be like, "Oh wow!" And they're giving me money. I do a kickflip or a tray down a stair set, and they'd be like, like, get off that board, pesky kid.
yeah, you pressed it, why, yeah. I really enjoy it. I sit in Snenton Market, and I'll go and get a coffee and
you can
something
sit there for
to eat.
hours and just watch people. It's different every time.
You get in like a trance with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Going in different directions, seeing what they can do. I really enjoy it. And again, like you say, they're very open for people. Because I was filming a music video, I think, for Local Healers, or somebody else's music video had done. And I just said, "Oh, guys, do you mind if I get a few shots?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course." And then one of them was coming and helping me do some of it. And I thought, what an awesome bunch of people.
Yeah, the realest people you'll get. They're very inviting. Because it's from all... I mean, skating, just from being a kid, that's what taught me to kind of accept all people of all cultures. Don't matter, I'm on a skateboard, so I'll have friends that are black, friends that are like Muslim, friends that do this. I'll always just... Don't matter. I'm on a skateboard, you're human. Like, they really taught me from a young age to kind of just accept everybody.
You're lucky you picked that up so early on and young.
Yeah.
Was that down at Ripley Skate Park as well?
Ripley Skate Park, but I spend a lot of my time there, but it's when you'd go to other cities or something and
It's
a
a
little
shame
bit
when
older.
skate parks get taken over though by just people that want to go and get drunk there, because does it get quite convoluted then?
Yeah, we've had a lot of conflict, not for a long time, because I don't hang about at like a skate park anymore. Back in the day at Ripley, you'd always get people that'd be drunk down there throwing glass, and you just stop fights with them all the time because it's just they're ruining the skate park and smashing bottles. Like, innit, what do you expect?
You don't get it, guys. I mean, mate, I know you got places to be. I always, when we get on here, I take so much time off you, but I really enjoy these podcasts with you. I want you to just talk a little bit about the next steps from after this podcast and what is up for you, because is it a couple of weeks you're going away then?
Yeah, we're going to go away about the 7th of December to Canada, just to go visit my girlfriend's parents.
Just for a visit then, this one?
Yeah, just for a visit, and I know a few artists from London, Ontario as well, so we'll just make some music out there while I'm over there.
Mate, and what about the music direction then? So for the foreseeable, you're travelling about, enjoying yourself. Have you got a working direction in what you want to do?
Yeah, just constantly for now. I've got like an album that I'm gonna work on releasing and stuff like that. And
what's that gonna give us another plug? Let's plug, baby.
I ain't got a date or anything for it yet. It's not. It's just a mixtape. It's a mix of the songs that some of them I've released already, and some of them are unreleased. It's kind of a 50-50 mix of the songs that I've literally made over the last year and a half traveling on the road. So all these songs have kind of just been made in a different location, like whether it's like my girlfriend's grandparents where we was living in the van, like in Germany. It's just a mix.
When you listen back to them songs, can you tell the location you were in?
Yeah, for sure. Every song I listen to, it just reminds me of a point of my life, like where I was, especially cause when I do my promo videos for it as well, I'll literally just look at the videos that I've got around that time and just make a little video montage of what I was doing at that time.
Would you say when you create music, before, I don't know if this has ever been a part of your story, but I can reflect. I've created in mind of what people want and sort of trying to create for that exterior and others. Yeah. Would you say now you're wholly creating for self, but by doing that, it makes it inclusive because it's so you? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like the only thing I don't massively like is that I have to do a lot of electronic drums. Like, I've never been that type of guy. Like, I've always been a guy that would love to get my drum set up and record live drums and stuff. But I'm making music to what I've got now, like my setup now, my living standard now. So that'll come with time. That's why I say the band will come later. But I'm making more trappy drums now, and I've never really been into trap as a young one, or trap wasn't really about as a young one.
I mean, it's just ace with music and being able to film it, particularly leaving that imprint around for that time. You know, my music when I was creating, and I've always tried to stay authentic and to myself, but I've noticed tracks where I've gone, oh, I just tried to be something else there.
Yeah,
but
everybody has that. I still have that.
The ones that I listen back to with genuine pride is when I look and I go, oh, that was for me in that moment, and it takes me back to that moment, and I'm really enjoying it. And I suppose people can sense that, can't they?
Yeah,
they go,
sure.
oh, Jonjo was in travelling mode in the middle of Germany with random people. I can hear that in that track.
Well, yeah, I think every music video I've done as well is literally pinpointed at where I was. Like I said, I've got a music video when I was stopping with them guys, and I've got the guys in it as well, just doing their thing. Like I've got more drawing in that video as well, so it's like everyone just in natural environment.
Mate.
Got the video Zeke and Luther where it's when we was living with Maud's grandparents in Caen, France. It's just literally me waking up in the morning, because in lockdown it's like every single day on repeat. Just wake up in the morning, go downstairs and eat my French croissants. It's pretty much the music video.
I really think this is great because, you know, some people, and everyone's journey is different, but they want to create once a year, maybe twice, the best possible song ever, and that's it. But then you've only got that one memory from that year then. Yeah. And I want to try and create a song a month.
Yeah, of course.
But then I've got a roundup of that month there. And the beautiful thing about filmmaking is you can go back to it after 2 years, 10 years, and it's that beautiful significance of that time. And you go back and go, oh, I'm so happy.
Unreal.
Filmmaking, for me, I'll never stop doing it now because it's got so much gravitas to it when I look back.
I always have a camera all around me, whether it's my phone or like my big camera, but I always have to document something along the way a little bit. So it always changes format. It's never consistent with me.
Now, me and the other day, Chrissy sat with Ella. She's 1 now. It's crazy. Yeah, 1 year old last week. Mad. And with Giuseppe, you must know Giuseppe,
course,
Frankie Bones, big up. And we did a track together last year, which was, it got track of the week because when Ella was born, it was played on the radio that day. Amazing. And so I was so proud of it. And this year, for Ella's first birthday, I just got track of the week. For her birthday, the track was played on that day.
What?
Dean Jackson loves a bit of serendipity, synchronicity. But we went back and just watched the first one with Ella, who's now 1. Yeah. And it was that moment that I'm alluding to, where I'm going back and imagine if I hadn't have documented this.
Yeah, innit.
And that's why it's got.
Moment,
I'm not in an ego way, but I'm happy with the views it's got. But I feel the reason it got such positive response and so on is because it was so me. Yeah. It was so
the purest
that's a genuine piece of art being created there. It's not tried to create something that I want to hear. They've created what they want, thus meaning what I want to hear.
That's like what you're saying earlier. It's like you have your songs where you say you know it's you. It's like the purest version of you. And then you have the songs where you think you've kind of been influenced a little bit too much. It's a different level, isn't it, when you know, you can tell it's purely you.
Can you tell while doing music now when it's not you, if you're going too far and it's become quite contrived or saturated?
Yeah, for sure.
So do you scratch it out then?
Yeah, I've got so many songs that I've just been like this ain't me. But I think when I write music, it's very like through compose. I'll wing it every time. I'll just start a song, I'll write a riff, and then I'll just see where the fuck it goes. I won't have anything planned out. Like I could start wanting to write something like really depressed, and then email. Next thing it could sound like really crazy and heavy and aggressive, and it's like.
When you've done a song, do you try and give it that breathing space?
Yeah.
So you'll give it maybe a couple of weeks, go back to it. What the fuck? Or this perfect.
I'll probably make like 20 beats or something, just different songs, and then just like leave them for a bit, mix them, go in between them all, like perfect them all, get them all done. Then I'll just be like ready time to record vocals and stuff like that. And then like a year down the line, that's when I'll release them songs. So I kind of all my music's really being released from I recorded like a year and a half ago, probably like a year ago.
Mate, do you know the one thing I want you to do?
What?
An on the road podcast.
Everyone says that when
I'd
I was on the
love
road,
it.
but I just can't, bro.
Why?
It's too much for me to have a camera there all the time, and too much for me to be editing all the time.
I suppose the editing because with this, obviously, when you talk, I switch it. When I talk, I switch it.
Yeah.
But if you just had a Rode mic on your camera and you just spoke to it, that'd be enough. I just want to see what you're up to more.
I can't talk to myself, innit?
Yeah, true.
I have to have you here to speak to me.
I tell you what, there's a skill in that, to be honest.
Yeah, there is, man.
I love this podcast because, like, you know, I feel like a friend of yours now, but it's just because it's silly, conversational, goes all over the shot. That was what I always wanted it to be. But I filmed somebody else's podcast for them now, the Prime Life Project.
Yeah.
And he wants it to be more formal, so people are learning stuff from it, mental health based, all that. But he can actually do a whole podcast on his own.
Is it?
And there's a mad skill. His energy
It's
transfer
next
and
level,
just
innit?
shouts at them, this is what you do, da da da. And I love it, but I could never do it.
I can't think of what to say. Someone has to tell me what to say, and then I
Yeah.
reply. Like,
Yeah.
how can I be like two people in one conversation?
I'm the exact same, man. It's as soon
It's
as it goes out of flow and my brain just starts shooting to everywhere else, I think it's too much to control.
Yeah.
So I love the conversational, loose format that
of course. You
that
can
this
go
has got.
anywhere, Yeah.
But like I respect the other way of being.
Yeah, man. It's like you say, it's an art. It's hard to do.
But maybe the fact that you're meeting so many incredible people when you're going around, that could turn into something. But don't let us
Yeah.
force you into anything. I know you won't.
Yeah. I'd love to do something like that.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
Dude, because I'm going to have to go in, do some edits and all that today. This has been a genuine pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Can you tell people where they can find out more of your stuff, where you want them to go down the line of? I know you've
Yeah.
got a few new tracks out as well.
Yeah, of course. Just go to www.jonjoyano.com.
You got a full web page
Full
together.
website.
Dude.
Yeah, man. I got everything on there. All my
And-
releases, my merch is all on there for sale as well.
That'll send you down all the different paths to your
Yeah.
YouTube channel,
Yeah.
to your Spotify,
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look at
No
this.
more Linktree anymore. I don't use the Linktrees anymore.
Oh, yeah, that is bollocks. Did you do your own website then?
Yeah, but I just made it on like a certain site and then just brought a domain name, so it's kind of like a very simple building website.
What was it?
Band Zoogle, I think. Band and then ZOOGLE.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to speak to you
Yeah,
about
I'll
that
send it
after.
you over,
Yeah,
yeah.
I need to look at doing a few different websites.
Yeah, no, I think it's best thing to have.
Is it sort of a drag and drop, as easy as that?
Yeah, you can drag and drop. You kind of what you want where. You can just put links to everywhere. You can integrate shops and
Like
stuff
Big
like
Cartel and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked, man. And mate, I'll have a ganders at that later.
that. Yeah.
I really, really appreciate you being on here, mate. Have you enjoyed it again?
Yeah, it's been sick.
Part
Thanks for having
two.
me. Yeah, innit?
From cults to all over the shop.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, we could go
Thanks for having me.
everywhere. Guys, I want to say thank you for being a part of the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus Sessions podcast. I leave you on this every time. Be nice to one another, you beautiful set of buggers. That's all you've got to do. Very simple. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, man.
Peace.